Hey, welcome in everyone. Getting started here. We're just going to give it a couple more minutes for everyone to land in and we'll get going from there. Hi, welcome. We're going to give it a few more minutes just for the remainder of people to come in. All right. Hi, welcome to those who joined. I think we're still expecting two more. Um, yeah, once we get those in, we'll go ahead and get started. Just want to start us off today. I'm Michael. This is the EasyDigz platform. I know that several of you on this call were also here for Tuesday, and this is a follow-up session to that. We're going to add to the value and the features that we did with bringing our contacts in and tagging them and getting them organized. Part of the purpose behind that is so that we can create campaigns and automations behind those contacts that is relevant to them because if you have a relocation buyer from New Jersey, it's very different than your brother-in-law asking you to buy a house, and those people require two different pieces of input and information. So over the next about 45 minutes, this one's probably going to be a little bit shorter. Same format as Tuesday. You'll be working in your own account alongside of us. There'll be a Q&A at the end. Feel free to pop in the chat questions at any time. We're happy to answer. I'm going to try and be a little bit more interactive this time around and make sure we can get any of those questions answered for you. By the end of today, you'll have a real drip campaign running in your account. The precedent to all of this, there will be some of you who go to log into your site from Doorify and it'll prompt you and it'll say that you need to set up your domain. That leads back to a webinar that we had, I guess it was about 4 weeks ago, as far as getting your initial domain set up and the customized white label and email domains. And that is a prerequisite as well for you guys getting these set out. If any of you need personal one-on-one help setting up the domain, white labeling your site, making sure that it's all branded in a brand that you own, we're more than happy to walk you through that. Just drop something in the chat or feel free to reach out to Julia, which is julia@easydigz.com, and we'll be happy to get that scheduled for you. If you need that in order to walk alongside of us, please know that this is all being recorded. You'll be able to go in alongside as well. We're more than happy to answer any questions. So we're going to kind of get started here and touch on one stat, and that is industry research has been pretty consistent on. It takes between 8 and 12 touches to convert a cold lead into a closed transaction. The exact number varies by source, but the directional finding does not. Cold leads need repeated patient contact before they're ready to do business with you. And the part that should bother you is that same research consistently finds that most agents send 2 touches before giving up. And when they go back to chasing brand new leads, they cost more money and they never figure out why those leads that they already paid for died. And they didn't. They just got abandoned somewhere in between touch 2 and touch 8. Once you connect this through to what we were saying on Tuesday, 85% of past clients said they'd use you again, and fewer than 20% do. That's the same gap. Past clients forget you because they don't hear from you. Cold leads abandon you because they don't hear from you. The fix is identical, and that's a system that keeps showing up. And with these drip campaigns, it's not a marketing gimmick. It's the discipline of touches 3 through 12, making sure that that conversation stays on track, that you're keeping your clients informed, and that you're at the same time able to stay present to all those conversations that require your expertise as an agent. Last week, we talked about how the triangle is an in-migration market. Buyers are arriving from California, New Jersey, New York, and today I want to push that one layer deeper. Our out-of-state buyers don't behave like local buyers. They don't decide to move on Tuesday, tour a house on Saturday, and go under contract. They typically research for months. They take scouting trips. They go home and talk it over. They come back weeks later. That window between first inquiry and closing is often half a year or more. If your follow-up plan is 2 emails and a phone call, you've lost that buyer by month 3. Not because they didn't want you, but just because you got lost in the noise. If you contrast that with, like I was saying, your brother-in-law, they already know that you're an expert. They already know, they don't need education about the triangle. They just need proof that you're active and reliable and that you can consistently give them information that is relevant to their home search. If you give them the same sequence as you did that out-of-state buyer, you're showing both of them that you're not paying attention to their needs and you're likely to lose all of your business. These are going to end up being different touch cadences and different messages. We'll show you some of that in the back end on how you can set that up. But lastly, we have an open house lead who walked through the property on Saturday and is making a decision inside that 30-day window. And it's fast. Sometimes it's 30 hours or 30 minutes. That sequence is a specific property and it's not a 6-month nurture. And the point is, the same market, the same agent has 3 completely different audiences sitting in front of you. And we needed to organize our contacts to make sure that we could reach out to them where they were at in their purchase cycle. That is the reason why they're tagged and have the account source set. And this way today, we can automatically set up these audiences quick and easy with relevant information for them. And EasyDigz already has a pre-built library called Out of State Move In. It's 13 emails over 193 days, written specifically for the buyer relocating from outside the triangle. It includes neighborhood comparisons and school district guides. It includes commute times that you can expect, cost of living calculators, and how virtual tours and remote buying works. How does financing for relocating buyers work? That sequence doesn't exist by accident. It exists because the triangle's relocation market is strong and somebody has to write to those buyers that actually need to hear from, about this information over their decision-making period. And that's the sequence that we're going to load up. But I would also recommend everyone view like the past client re-engagement and referral request. As we go into this, I'll be able to point some of those out to you and show you some of the values behind it as well. Let's go ahead and go into the email hub. And that is right here. When you land on your main site, you're going to come into your dashboard. For those of you who do have a question about that, getting in, once you're logged in from the Doorify dashboard, you'll see this admin on the back end, and it'll bring you right here to your back end dashboard. This is where you can see all of the activity, the save searches on your account. This is where you can see anybody that's made an offer, what stage all of those are in. It's a great place to just keep track of everything that you have going on. Additionally, we have calendar integrations that automatically tie in for all of your home inspections and surveys, closing dates, due dates, all of that information. So from your dashboard, we're going to click here into emails. For those of you who stick around to the end of the call, there is some, I'm going to give you a preview of the new user experience that we have coming out next week. And it's actually what the blogs session next week will actually be based on, is that new user experience. So this email tab will actually be moving to the left-hand side, and I'll give you a preview of that at the end of this webinar. So as we click into emails, we're going to give that a second to load. Yep, there we go. We're going to pull this up. Here you're going to see Outbox and templates. The Outbox is where you kind of manage your outgoing emails. I don't have any. This is a staging site for me. And this is just going to help you kind of keep track of what's getting sent where. We additionally have templates here. This is going to cover some of your workflow, different stages. You can see how there's individual things for any, properties updated. If you have an offer submitted, all of this is built out and branded in your name. You guys should be able to see all of this in the workflows. Additionally, we have variables that automatically adjust for client information, etc. From here, we also have, you can, make custom workflows, and we have triggers that can trigger on, any given thing. You can make sure that you send your entire client list happy birthday or your home anniversary, making sure that they're doing their maintenance, etc. We also have drip campaigns here. This is the primary thing that we'll be working in today, and it's for client outreach. But I do want to touch on one more, and that's these other triggers over here that are outside of the workflow. We have events that automatically get set up for property price changes, safe search matches, listing stage changes, again, birthdays, home anniversaries, and then also throughout the transaction. These triggers right here actually set up in-app notifications. So when your clients are signing into their portal, and you'll be able to see, hey, my client has saved searches that's relevant to their information daily. When you log in, we have multiple ways for you to check and make sure that you're staying on top of your client's searches and information. Additionally, they'll be able to see the same thing. We also send digests to your clients that you can preview here for yourself, and it just says, hey, these are, this is everything that's happened since you last signed in. It really helps with that kind of client re-engagement. But we'll go back here into drip campaigns and kind of start us off. Before we build one, I just wanted you to know where everything lives, and we kind of covered the outbox and the triggers. And from here, we're going to kind of go into the first of 3 moments. And this is where you're going to start clicking in your own account. If you guys need me to stop or pause or have any questions, please raise your hand, throw up a signal, whatever that is. I'm happy to cover any of it any further. Can I just get a show of hands? Am I okay moving? Is everyone okay? And are they on this dashboard so that way I can start moving forward? Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you all very much. So we're going to start in here. And the very first thing you're going to do is I've got a couple tests in here. To start, we're just going to click New Drip Campaign. We have 2 different ways you can do it. We have pre-built sequences, as I was saying earlier, and we have manual creation. For today, we're going to stay with the pre-built sequence. This is going to cover 95% of your initial outreach. You will, as you build your client base and build special scenarios, be able to create your manual sequences, and the number of customizations are I won't say unlimited, but there's a lot of customization. So to keep today's class simple, we're going to go with a pre-built sequence here. I wanted to cover some of what's here. Again, we'll just go here through to like buyer nurture. So this is the one that we're going to be covering today. You can kind of see what some of those email sequences are. But before we move forward, I just want to show you some of what we have. We have like a first-time home buyer series. This helps people understand what they're going to need to know about their credit score, what kind of down payment they should be looking at, North Carolina first-time home buyer programs, the benefits of HOAs and how they should analyze that in their property searches. Just kind of relevant information that you need to get over to your clients who are first-time home buyers. These are not exhaustive guides, but they are touch points so that when you have deeper conversations with your clients, they already know that those kinds of conversations are going to be happening. Additionally, we have some investor-specific ones. There, of course, are different than your first-time home buyer, your luxury buyer. They go strictly into the financial side and help making sure that people understand where they're at in their business. We have a couple other open house follow-ups strictly for, like, hey, I was trying to, schedule this, see you at this open house and you didn't get there. All of us have been ghosted at an open house, thought we were going to have 35 attendees and we had 13. So it's a great way to kind of re-engage those people and see, are they looking for something else? Did they find something they wanted? Again, we will be touching on some of these. A great one that I actually do suggest, it's a simple one contact engagement. It is just, hey, do you have a referral? And I'm just going to touch on this. You can quickly edit this, reach out to your entire, contact list. Step 1 is ask for those referrals that we're not getting. So I'm not going to use this one today, but I just wanted to see you guys, to show you guys some of what's there. And then again, we have sphere of influence. Here we have your monthly market update, quarterly market reports, and I'll touch on one more thing here, and I'm doing this just to kind of also preview to you guys some of what's here. So let's go and say we want to edit this into a quarterly market report. And it seems kind of interesting at first until you're like, oh man, how do I pull a market report? This is something that we'll be covering next week, but I do want to just show you this. So I'll just say this is a preview of this tool for all of you. It is live and active in your accounts, but if you want to pull a market report, you can say, provide me a market report for active and closed sales in 27613 over the past 60 days. And just while that runs, I'm going to click back over here to emails, and we can kind of see. Here, you guys can see, oh, this is my outbox, and it's my daily digest. I can view that, see what happened. I know it got sent. Hey, there's a price reduction. And that's what it looks like. And this is just a preview, but as you guys can see, that's a good demo of the outbox. So we'll go back, and before I actually open up that drip campaign, I'm going to go back to the advanced search and just make sure. Oh, I clicked off of the page too soon. I'm sorry about that, guys. Please provide me a detailed market report over the past 60 days of active and closed listings in 27613. So we're going to give this about 45 seconds to cover. It's a really interactive tool. We have an entire session and breakdown on this, but I do feel like it's relevant so that you guys can kind of see how this ties in with our email campaigns and reporting. Again, this is searching just MLS data. It provides very detailed reporting. You guys can see here some of the level of insight that it brings, and we'll see what it pushes out the other side, and we're happy to compare some of these notes once it gets done. Yeah, I'll try and fill the void while it's running. As far as setting up market reports, I'm pretty sure you guys will see how advantageous it is to be able to have tools like this. We can also build this in. Next week, we'll be covering blogs. That is a feature that is coming with the new update next week. So all of you that are on this call will be able to see that next week along with the blogs and updates. We have tied this tool directly into our blog posting. But in some of the reporting, I'll just go ahead and show, like from our previous search, any one of these, it automatically pulls all the relevant information that you can have. So if you have a client that's searching for specific information, you can automatically click on any of this, see the attachments from the MLS, etc. See all the listing information, who the listing agent is, tab through these. And this level of information is strictly for your back end, for you as the agent. We have separate, so that's why it was taking so long. I do apologize. We'll get that looked at and rectified. But we can use this for example. So this is for price drops and carry. And we'll just say, if that's the report that you want to use, you can quickly go in, copy this, and we'll go back to emails and go to this drip campaign. Quarterly market report, and use that sequence. And there's your full market report. All the active listings, pending listings, what's under contract, price reductions. This helps for all of your sellers. This helps for buyers. It helps you have real conversations with people about what they can expect to see in the market, what they should be paying. And it's super valuable. So we can just update that step. It's saved. And then you'll notice some prompts in the corner, and it'll say, oh, you need to save this. And I'll go, this is a test market report, right? And then I'll try and save it again, and you'll see again, it won't let me. And it says, oh, you have no one attached to this. So I'm going to manage my audience and go back to those tags. Oh, well, I have a carry move up. That's an excellent, people to include to this campaign. I'm just going to add them to this campaign. And now I'm going to hit save. And I'm saved successfully. So when I go in here, I can now see who I have attached to this, who's been sent, what's been going on, the analytics about it. So I can see what's been sent, what's been opened, if I have any failed, etc. And additionally, I have not started this campaign. It is just saved. So once you set these up, you will have to start once you approve that everything's done. But we'll go back to a bigger campaign here and I can kind of show you how that'll work. This is one that I had set up as the out-of-state triangle move-in that I said we would have, and we can use this sequence. You'll be able to see here, first and foremost, these are all pre-built. While building it out, you're going to run into a couple things. Here you can create custom tokens. In custom tokens, you can type, this is a custom token. I want it to be a call to action. And, make it bold, italic, anything that you want. And then additionally, you can attach your images here. So we'll just say that. And that's going to be my token, right? And so I'm going to say, this is a call to action. Once I save that, then I can go in here, add that call to action here, and preview what that looks like. So all of my emails that come out are automatically linked to who they're being sent to, customized in my name. All of the information here is pre-populated. This is a test account for me, but you'll be able to see what that looks like. And then we're going to save that step and update it. And then here, this triangle home comparison guide, you guys can kind of see here what that looks like. It breaks down different areas and information. Feel free to customize that with anything that's relevant to you. We can cover several of the things that we're touching on here. We give you school guides, kind of the lifestyle, what it looks like to live here. Again, that triangle market snapshot, you'll be using that analytics tool, and we'll notify everybody as soon as that's back up. And it's what to expect as a buyer. You can automatically paste that as straight in from your analytics tool, give people direct and updated and relevant information to their purchases. You have commute calculators so people can work on their exact times. We have new listing matches, financing. And then again, we touch on listings again for people who are actively looking to see what's fresh. And then finally, we finish that out with a triangle market update. All of these things can be completely customized however you want to see it. And then you can do two separate things. So we can do either from enrollment date or from an event. We typically use this from an event. And then you can see that these are all scheduled from event start. So we can edit this step and actually change when we want it to go. And so we go add event start. So we're going to say, I want this to go 20 days before the event starts. And you can update the step. And you'll notice here that we automatically flag that. And then we're going to go auto sort. And it'll automatically land things based on when you want each one to send out according to how things are working. You can schedule it around anything that you want. I know a lot of brokers have like client appreciation events. You can create all of your campaigns around that, make sure that people have information leading up to it and after the event. It's a great way to say that I have, 5 emails after the event and 5 emails before the event. You can set that date right here and say, I want it to start today. It'll obviously, this can't send 20 days before the event because if the event is today. So see, automatically we get a flag there and it won't let us go through. So I wanted to cover a couple of those things, make sure you guys are aware. Can I get just as a checkpoint, can I get a show of hands? Do we have any questions? Do we have, is anyone able to track, where we're at, follow along? Anything that you want me to look into deeper, anything I might have moved too quickly on? All right, cool. We've got some celebrations coming across the screen. Sounds like we're sailing straight through it. once we're here, we're going to go back and look at kind of our drip campaigns. You guys will see here, all my stuff is kind of off. I did some tests here. You can see, hey, 100% of these were delivered. None of them were opened. But again, we have this ability to pause and play. Additionally, if you really like this campaign and you had great open rates here, you can just quickly clone and copy it, and you can make any edits you want there. So that way, once you start to personalize and customize it, it makes it really quick and easy for you to understand, which ones are hitting, which ones are doing well, and you can kind of just continuously clone and optimize that. So we're going to exit back out of that. And yeah, we're going to touch, the triggers. I already kind of showed you what that market report would look like. This is a sample just that I set up real quick. But whenever your clients do have, save searches information set up, it will automatically show you kind of what that looks like. And it'll say, hey, it's Jane's birthday. I have this transaction coming in 3 days. I can click here, view all updates, and it'll bring me straight back to my dashboard. But that's kind of what that would look like for your notifications. So this is user notifications on the broker side. It shows me all of my saved searches, favorite property statuses. I can see everything that all of my clients are doing here in my dashboard. Yep. And it makes it really, really easy to keep track of everything that's going on. So we'll go back here into admin. And additionally, we have this dashboard. But both of these, I'm just going to mark these as red for now because we just went through them. And yeah, lastly, for those of you who were having some issues, I know if you're trying to set up emails, it won't let you if your domain's not set up. We'll cover that real quick and just touch on kind of where you need to go. So here, we'll just go into your email domain. And this is on a previous webinar, but you just enter your domain information that you want, and you can map that through to your GoDaddy and everything else. And that's what allows you to enable those kind of custom domains. And to show you how that works, like you'll notice that this here is not an EasyDigz site. Nothing that you do is branded in the EasyDigz name. It's going to be branded in your name. All of your emails come from you. My sent from emails are all northrawleyestates.com. So if you guys are worried about making sure that you keep that relationship of trust in between you and your client, we are first and foremost interested in making sure that you don't have to keep handing them off to different platforms or different user experiences every time you have a new tool. We completely build all of it around maintaining that trust between you and your clients. Cool. So that has covered a bunch from emails and campaigns. I do want to say, let's move back here to slides. And we kind of went through the campaigns and the live metrics. We built the drip campaign. We selected a pre-built sequence. We kind of walked through the audiences by tags. We went through the ability to edit all of your emails. We kind of touched on the triggers and the metrics. Here's a few key points. If you're seeing less than 95% delivery rate, you really need to check your campaign list. It's not in your best interest to buy a list of email contacts and straight reach out to them cold. The purpose of this is to really engage those clients you care about, put your name in front of them as a source of truth, and really build relationships. So the intent is to really go through and work consistently with people that you know. If you're getting people who are replying, that again goes into your email setup. That email will come straight back through to whatever working email that you want, your primary inbox. So we have that email routing that's set up, and that webinar, again, we covered about a month ago. So we can see the tag-driven enrollment. I showed you the live metrics on running in the campaign, and the triggers tab, we covered that. So here are really our takeaways. First and foremost, build a campaign. I suggest ask for a referral and find out who your minimum viable client list is, and set up a campaign for them. Go through the emails, customize it, brand it in your voice, and send it. Make outreach. Make sure that people are aware of your site. We additionally have some quick sheets for your clients who are interested in how to use the site. You can attach those onto any of your emails or campaigns. So for example, if you have, we'll not use the market report. We'll go this lead nurture test, right? So you have someone who's looking at coming in. Here, you can just simply attach that straight in. And then additionally, we have all the insert images, etc. So we can send you that how to use the site quick sheet for all of your clients. You can attach it in, it'll get sent out, and you'll be in good shape from there. So yeah, really, we're headed for next Tuesday, and that is going to be new UI UX for all of you. We're very happy, excited about it. I do ask before you get there, um, make sure that you are reaching out to your clients and make sure that you are giving them consistent contact. We give you a lot of ways to get it done. And it's one consolidated place where you can bring your clients and maintain that series of trust. We give you a bunch of ways to do it. As promised, I'm going to go ahead, before I get into the questions, we're just going to show you this. And you guys will notice, some of you, when you log in, will be able to see, hey, this is what you're seeing on your login. You have to verify your domain. We're going to go maybe later, and I'm going to go to my admin. This is what the updated page looks like. So you guys will notice that top bar got moved straight over to the left-hand side. Here is your tenant settings where you set up your email domain and custom domain. Again, we have that easy insight search here. Gives you very detailed notes, different sales price per square foot for the properties located adjacent to outdoor parks, greenways, activities. Sold in the last 12 months. Gives you very detailed breakdown. Types of amenities that matter the most. All the kind of information you need to provide to your clients. Additionally, one more thing that we are touching on is I actually had used this for a test blog. So I can look here, and this is a blog that I wrote. It took 10 minutes to put it together. I did all the research, and it helps people really understand what it is that's going on. We're going to touch on this a bunch more. There's a lot of cool features to help you put out using market data and insights. We automatically check and validate your blog, see what's getting the most. If you're new to it and you just want to get some information out, we can give you really quick and easy ways to generate these things. This is going to be covered next week, and we look forward to getting feedback on the new dashboard. For everyone who wasn't able to make it today, please know in the recording, you got to make it next week because there's a lot of new information coming for you. That being said, we're going to go back through and get some questions. I'm going to drop that down. Cool. Feel free to raise your hand, drop it in the chat, etc. Happy to answer questions, clarify. If any of you want more sneak peeks of the platform that's coming, I know this is relevant to your business. We're working every day to try and make sure that you guys have better tools and better experiences. Yeah, happy to answer any questions from here. Yeah, what you got? I saw a hand up go. I lost you. I saw a hand pop up and then I lost it. All right. Yeah, I'll cover a couple other things here. For some typical some typical questions that we get, and we'll go from there. First of the main kind of questions that we're getting really is, which pre-built sequences are right for your audience. And that is essential for you to understand as you go in and build and tag that audience. You know where your clients are located. If you work in Clayton, if you work in Raleigh, if you work in Clayton and Raleigh, you know that you have to segment those two. You know that the drive times are different. If you have people that are tech focused and only want to live in 5 points, you know that you can be hyper local. We really think it's advantageous with a lot of the changes that are happening in search and real estate right now are really leaving it to a point that if you try and compete on a big broad scale, you're going to get swallowed. And really, the biggest thing that an agent can do to make sure that their businesses are repeatable and searchable is to be hyper local, find areas, find certain things. We a bunch of agents, do outdoor activities. I know a myriad of mountain bikers who are real estate brokers. I know a myriad of foodies, and it's like, cool. Create your blogs, create your email campaigns, touch on the people in the network that's relevant and informative to them. Create information about that. Make sure that it's branded in your name and your brokerage's name, um, and build that brokerage brand, build that broker brand and agent brand, and really that's going to be your walls of defense as search changes, is to make sure that you are visible on the macrosphere. Um, and okay, yeah. So you can run multiple campaigns at the same time. Absolutely. We have a limit of about 5,000 emails per month on all of your base. As of right now, we don't have a cap or we don't charge for any additional. Just reach out to us if you are hitting any kind of email send limits, and we can get that adjusted. But yeah, as of right now, there isn't a cap. Um, yeah, just make sure that you're watching your send rates, and that's going to be a big thing for you. Yeah, don't please don't spam. If we get a bunch of spam or unintended emails, we will shut your email down, because that represents on us and our servers as well. So please be aware of that. Everyone that you send it to, we automatically have unsubscribe built in. And we handle kind of that legal plumbing. Every email that's sent through the platform includes an unsubscribe link. It's required by law, and so we do that. And just make sure that you're emailing real world contacts. And yeah, a question about A/B testing. Yeah, so the way to do that is to copy that campaign, change your subject line, change any features you want, and then you would divide by who you're sending in that tag list. And then whichever one's performing better, you can migrate a certain percentage onto that, or you may find that you actually need two different campaigns for two different spheres. Um, our pricing, again, our pricing starts at $3.99 a month for an individual agent. And then as you build in brokerages and compound and layer in more things on top of that, we're happy to talk to you about pricing. It does get cheaper the more the more accounts that you're running. So yeah, it is just getting all of the base tools stood up. Starts for one individual at $3.99 a month. But yeah, feel free to reach out. I know that Julia has access to a couple sponsorships and campaigns as well. If you think this is a good fit and you're just unsure about it, again, everyone that joins in as part of the series gets a free trial on the site anyways. So please utilize it, and give us any feedback that you have. If there's something that you want to see that'll change your idea about whether or not you're using it, absolutely give us that feedback. We're building new tools every day, and we just want to make sure that we're providing the most value to you. Cool. Well, we're running a bit early, and yeah, if I don't, I'm happy to answer any other questions from there. Yeah, otherwise, thank you all for attending. Hopefully, it's straightforward, and yeah, happy to answer any questions as you reach out from there. Oh, cool. Awesome. Thank you all very much. I hope you have a great afternoon and have a good lunch. I tried to get you out of here a little bit early. Bye all. Thank you. Thank you very much.